What was the point of the Greed Island arc? Was there a point to the Greed Island arc? Many people in the Hunter x Hunter fanbase seem to think that this much maligned arc was only good for giving them Genthru flashbacks, but what if I told you that Greed Island is actually a crucial arc for the larger storyline of Hunter x Hunter and actually plays a role towards the approaching Dark Continent saga? Today, our wild anime theory reveals the real reason that Ging, Freeds, and friends created the Greed Island game in the first place. And spoiler alert, it wasn't forgone. Welcome to Wild Anime Theories, where we're not afraid to show how crazy we are for our favorite series. Make sure to check out our subreddit and post your crazy theories for a chance to see it come to life here on the channel. Today's theory was originally written by Quint on the Hunter x Hunter subreddit that we loved enough that we just had to include it here on Wild Anime Theories. Thanks to his hard work and research, we're seeing Greed Island in a whole new light now. In the 3+ years that Hunter x Hunter fans have now been waiting for a new arc, it's a good thing the fanbase has so many fantastic ones to look back on and reminiscent about. The Hunter exam, the York New City arc, the Chimera Ants arc, these are among the most beloved arcs in all of manga and anime. But wait, am I forgetting something? Oh yeah, the Greed Island arc. To put it lightly, while it does have some defenders, most Hunter x Hunter fans are not the greatest supporters of Greed Island. It does have its share of high points, such as Bisky's training montage and perhaps the greatest dodgeball match ever put on the page, but it's seemingly brought down by a lackluster antagonist and some overall pacing issues. Now, it wouldn't be the first time we've seen this phenomenon in a popular anime or manga. For example, it's a meme that all One Piece fans know that 1-2 skip Skypiea. There are many posts on Reddit of fans impatiently asking if they can just skip this much disliked arc of Hunter x Hunter, but what if there actually was much more to Greed Island than we saw at first glance? What if this game was actually a training ground for the Dark Continent? Why would you need a training ground for the Dark Continent in the first place? Well, that should be self-evident. No place in the Hunter x Hunter world is more dangerous than this vast and unknown region that lies beyond the known worlds. The dangers that lurk in the Dark Continent are far beyond anything we've seen in the series, even seemingly insurmountable threats like Meruem and the Chimera Ants. Of the 149 historical expeditions into the Dark Continent, only 5 have ever been successful. And successful here means that they have at least one single survivor. Some of these have had as low as a 0.7 survival rate, and each of them carry tales of a borderline Lovecraftian horror. The botanical weapon Bryon, the gaseous life form Ai, the twin snake Hellbell, the human-feeding beast Pap, and the immortality disease Zobai. However, each of these excursions has also yielded great treasures, such as Nitro Rice that can grant a longer lifespan, and Unmanned Rock, which generates almost limitless energy. Clearly, the countries of the Hunter x Hunter world can reap tremendous benefits from their travels to the Dark Continent, but they don't really get any reward if all the explorers who depart just end up dead. And overall, the survival rate of all the expeditions together is barely 0.04%. Almost everyone who ventures into the Dark Continent is guaranteed to die. Therefore, to prepare for this unimaginable danger, some precautions and countermeasures would need to be developed at some point. Enter Ging Freaks, former Zodiac, father of Gon, and developer of Greed Island. The reason implied through the story is that Ging Freaks created the Greed Island game as a once-in-a-lifetime coming-of-age experience for our favorite green boy Gon. Come on. This guy is a clear contender for anime's worst father, and I'm absolutely including the father from Fullmetal Alchemist here. Based on what we've seen from Ging in the series, do we really think that he would put as much effort as he put into Greed Island just for Gon's sake? Isn't it much more likely that Ging has actually a more selfish motivation for developing this game? Right now, Ging is himself part of an expedition to the Dark Continent. So is it possible that the years he and his team put into the Greed Island game will help him in conquering this dangerous land? Moreover, Ging Freaks likely has a personal stake in wanting to travel to the Dark Continent. According to Ging, it's possible that Don Freaks is still alive somewhere on the Dark Continent, still writing his journal, The Journey to the New World. While not confirmed, it's no stretch to assume based on their last name that Don Freaks is his father, or at least some sort of relative. This would add a rich layer to a story that has long centered around Gon searching for his own father. So perhaps one of the roots of Jing's absence is that all along he's been looking for a way to hunt down his own father. This would add a masterful parallel to the saga of the Freaks family. So how exactly is Greed Island supposed to help prepare hunters for the Dark Continent? Because as far as we know, no members of the current expedition have participated in the game. Is there something in Greed Island that would prove invaluable for this adventure? Of course, someone call Yugimoto, because it's all in the heart of the cards. In the Greed Island video game, items and spells are contained within cards, and the objective of the game is to collect all the 100 cards that fill the player's binder slot. Now, it would be one thing if this really was just a Joy Station video game, but we do know that Greed Island is a game only for NEN users that takes place on a physical island location that players are transported to. Theoretically, this means the NEN technology that collects items within cards and then releases their effects could be used in locations other than Greed Island. Like where? Well, the Dark Continent, of course. Just think about how useful some of these card abilities could be if they were used on an expedition to the Dark Continent. Angel's Breath can be used to cure a person's wounds and return them back to perfect health. Trace would allow you to keep track of expedition members' locations and avoid getting separated from one another. Ruler's Blessing could allow for more environmental control over the unpredictable wilds of the Dark Continent. Recycling Room could fix up broken or damaged artifacts that are found on the expedition. Hypothetical TV would allow you to check various possibilities and outcomes when faced with a dangerous calamity. Return and Origin would allow users to teleport to safety if overwhelmed by danger. And Contact would allow the expedition members to communicate across vast distances while exploring. These are just a few of the cards whose built-in abilities would come in more than handy during an expedition to this continent. And while they wouldn't be able to work exactly the same way outside of Greed Island, perhaps these abilities and the method of storing them into usable cards were meant to act as a prototype for applying these NEN abilities during a dangerous excursion. Having access to these abilities would increase the success rate exponentially, I think. And moreover, what if the system wasn't only for bringing abilities to the Dark Continent, but actually was meant to bring some of them back? Imagine if instead of destroying monsters like Brion, Eye, or Hellbell, they were just captured inside cards. What would the leaders of this world pay for access to such unstoppable forces? We learned from the Chimera Ant arc that a theme of Hunter x Hunter overall is that humans are the most dangerous creatures to exist. For instance, all the countries of the Hunter x Hunter world have stockpiled the Poor Man's Rose, terrifying weapons of mass destruction. And what better way to fit with this theme than by allowing these same humans to end up subjugating the powerful forces of the Dark Continent and using them for their own cruel ends. And it would also bring a completely new level of depth and darkness to one of the most lighthearted parts of the entire series. Fans would never be able to watch Greed Island the same way again. Me at least. Now there's one more important reason that Togashi could want to reintroduce concepts from Greed Island into the Dark Continent. Fans have been wondering if Gon, who started as the series' main antagonist but who has now been long absent, will ever make his way back into the story. If the mechanics of the Greed Island video game are crucial to exploring the Dark Continent, then who better to get involved than the winner of the game itself? Gon would be able to show his mastery of the cards while also also playing into the drama of the storyline between Ging and Don Freaks. Sure, they have to figure out how to give him his Nen back, but surely Togashi can come up with a convenient plot device to make that happen, as many of us already suspect. So will Greed Island actually return to play a much more important role in the series, and will we ever get new chapters to find out? Only time will tell. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this theory, make sure to subscribe to the channel.